Welcome back, boys. Golga here, and first off, right off the bat, I apologize. It's been a bit. Basically, I've been kind of waiting to see what happens with this game, if there's even going to be anybody playing it, because right now, making content for this and trying to do any of the game modes in NA is basically impossible. So the issue that we have is that the October update was great. You know, a lot of fan favorites came back. We got E-Boat, as well as Sniper Gallery and aReNa. I'd say those three modes right there, which we talked about in the prior video with the state of ABA, were the three biggest things that the community was asking for, and we got them. The problem is, nobody's playing them. I'm currently recording this aReNa gameplay here in the background at about 5 o'clock Eastern on a Friday, so it's just before peak hours, but still, typically we used to get games for this. And the problem is, just nobody is playing. So, when you have a peak of about 2,500 players playing, typically it's the Asian server. I'd actually estimate that probably 2,000 out of those 2,500 players are all just on the Asian server, if not more. Because during peak hours, 8v8s, whether it be Annihilation, Demolition, or Escort if you can find a game, there's usually about 1 or 2 rooms currently playing and about 3 people waiting. So it's safe to say that the North American server for this game right now is dead. It's done, which is a problem. And that problem is it forces all of those NA players to go play on EU. And for the EU players, seeing an NA player, we lag for them. You know, NAs are the BRs of the EU world, right? So that's going to piss off the EU players, and then they're going to quit. So you have like this trickle-down effect where because NA is now dead and nobody's playing the game, the people that still play NA, that are NA, can only really do that on EU. So they go to EU and then they lag. So it blows my mind that nobody thought about this in the development stage of the game. Nobody thought to themselves, you know, if we're going to build this global platform for this IP, we need to, right off the bat, have these certain things implemented to continue interest. But it seems like the only interest that NeoWiz has right now is in releasing skin packs. Like this stupid Hades pumpkin Halloween bullshit they released this past week, which costs like $25 US, and it's a sniper skin. Oh, and by the way, if you want to use that sniper character skin, you have to continue to buy the base timed item with euros. Oh, you don't have enough euros, you ask? You missed the last Euro boost event? Don't worry, spend more real money and buy the packs that give you some skins, but also euros. It's a fucking scam, dude. I had hope for NeoWiz, I really did. But after everything that I've seen recently with just them, it's getting to the point where they're even ignoring partners, and I'll get to that in a minute. But the problem right now that we have is that NeoWiz has made it very clear they do not care, they do not listen to us, and the moderators that they have in place, you know who you are, they're basically, I mean, they're getting scammed too, let's be honest. They're doing a job for free because they love the game. And these moderators they're not being compensated anything, of course. They're having to deal with all the community's bullshit and the bitching that we're doing, which, you know, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, but I think that the community has a right to bitch at this point because we're all saying the same thing. You waited 2 years, you know, you announced this game, NeoWiz, you waited 2 years, and you still can't figure out how to develop and support a 15-year-old game that has every single asset, every single weapon, map, mode from all those years already in the game files. You know, the game right now is over 20 gigs, and it has every single thing that the old game had in it, but you either refuse to code it in or to release it because you want to continue to spoon-feed us skins and update packs. Well, guess what, boys? That shit ain't working no more. Alright? NA is dead. EU is soon to follow. Alright, I mean, you can tell by this wonderful gameplay in the background, I shouldn't have to wait 20 minutes for a game. You know, I play with the Heathens clan and Grimphase and all those guys, and we had a full 5-stack with Mark and some other guys in there. We were waiting for an aReNa game, and we were literally in there in NA server during peak hours for about 25 minutes, and we got no game. And here's the kicker. We knew there was other teams queuing because we had my other team, my other squad, Talon, they had a 5-stack queuing as well. But we didn't get matched together because, and the game doesn't tell you this, but there's actually an elo system that inhibits quote-unquote better players from queuing with lower elo players. The problem with this is we weren't that far off in elo. I think our team was about 1400 to 1450, and the enemy team was around 1400, and they wouldn't queue us together. So you take a game that already has, like, I don't know, maybe 200 to 300 peak NA players at a time, with queue times of 1 minute and 30 seconds for some ungodly reason, and then you're going to implement a very strict RP, gatekeeper system that doesn't let anybody queue together. What the fuck are we doing? Like, Neo is, what are we doing? Like, what is the end goal here? Because you've literally made every single move that somebody would make if they're trying to legitimately attempt to kill a community in a game. You've done nothing but ignore us. You've used the moderators in the Discord server as a go-between, but you don't listen to us, so what's the point? If every day, if everybody in the Discord and everybody in-game is complaining about a weapon, let's just take the MP7 for example, and then you have, shout out to Grimphase, he was talking to us about it, then you have partners like Grimphase and others that are saying, hey, why don't we just do a poll like other games like AVA Dog Tag or Iron Sight? Do a community poll for your feedback. Just flat out ask the community, is the MP7 overpowered? And have them vote on it. And he's getting ignored, and he's a partner, okay? This is how NeoWiz treats their partners, the people that are supposed to promote the game for them. Free advertisement, right? If they're going to treat partners like that, what are you and I, the casual, regular player, to them? We're nothing but a paycheck. That's why we have had more skins, caps, and all this bullshit, real money boxes, like the Hades package and all this other crap, get implemented before everything else, okay? The game is dead. It is on its life support. The player numbers are just not there. It is not sustainable. And what you're going to be left with is a game that is touted as a global game, but everybody that plays it is going to be Asian. And that's fine. That's totally fine. Asia can have it at this point because they're the biggest perpetrators of the hacking right now. You can check the Discord forums. You can check everything. That's the problem. The Asia server. To prove this point, I recently played a game of, aReNa when I could find a game in the Asia server, okay? If you look at my win-loss record, I've played about, I don't know, gosh. Let me see here. I've played 26 games, right? So I've played about 25 games in NA. No, I apologize. 20 games in NA, about 3 games in EU, and 1 or 2 games in Asia, right? When I was playing in NA, I did not see any blatant hacks. For a full 20 games, I can honestly say I did not see anything suspicious, okay? Same with EU. I jump into one Asian server game. Everything's going great. There's one guy on the enemy team that looks a little suspicious. We go up 5 rounds to 3. It's best of 7. The start of that 9th round where it's 5-3, we immediately, our entire team gets killed by binos for 5 rounds straight, and we lose the game. That's the kind of experience that we have right now. And the problem that we have is when players go onto the AVA Discord server and they complain about this issue with hackers, they're shut down. The devs and the mods are trying to sweep this under the rug because if you have a Discord community server filled with posts about people complaining about hackers, new players that come try to play the game and join the Discord server are not going to want to play it. So they, when a player posts in the Discord servers evidence of a hacker, the current response is the post is deleted and the player is told to then email the quote-unquote evidence to NeoWiz, which then takes about 2 to 3 weeks for them to even reply to you if you're lucky to get a reply, and then nothing gets done, okay? And when the mods are confronted with this and why they handle it this way, the response we get is, oh, it's because the hackers, they just want attention, right? So if we just give them attention, that's what they want. No, that's bullshit, okay? I don't know if it's bullshit from the mods or bullshit from NeoWiz, but the reason you don't want that to be public is because if you allowed people to post every time there was an issue with a hacker, your entire Discord would be flooded with nothing but posts about hackers. And then you're already shown that you're incompetent and can't fix things. So you take all those posts with hackers and then you show your response by not doing anything about them. Why would we play the game? Right? Why would any new player in their right mind join the Discord server, try out the game, look at Discord and see how many people are hacking in the game, and then want to deal with that, right? So this isn't a failure of the community. This is not a failure of the mods. A lot of us love this game. We've been playing it for years. I have thousands of hours in this game. thousands, probably close to 10,000 if I added them all up, right? And that's my mistake. But I've had great memories, okay? The failure here is on NeoWiz. They've failed to communicate, they've failed to develop this game, and they have failed to release or do anything with this IP that is interesting. And it's not a new IP here. It's been around for over 15 years. So, it's just another example of NeoWiz and their incompetence. How many other games in their portfolio? I encourage you, go on to Steam, sort and look up the NeoWiz developer, okay? And look at how many games they have in their library, and look and see how many that have actually been either closed down or are no longer active. Right now, believe it or not, AVA is like the top game for them. Everything else they've had, Bless Unleashed, that's another example of a game that they announced because they fucked up the first time, so they had to release it again as an unleashed version. It shows the levels of incompetence here. You're talking about a company that just does not give a fuck, and we are here for a paycheck for them. That is all we are, that's all we have ever been, and that's what we're going to continue to be. So here's my call to action, guys, alright? Do what you want. If you enjoy this game, play it. Live your best life. But at the end of the day, when I look at all of the stuff that I just talked about and what's going on with this game, I can honestly say that I just don't have fun with this anymore. It's not fun for me to log in and either be killed by a hacker or an MP7. And that's when I can find a game. It's not fun for me to get on with the boys, whether it be my team, Heathens, anybody in Discord, and wait for 25 to 30 minutes to find an aReNa game. That's not fun. It's not fun to have to go play in EU or Asia because NA is dead. It's not fun, right? So I'm just going to stop playing. And I encourage you all, I see people on the Discord server for AVA saying, hey, how come they're not listening to us? What can we do here? It's very simple. The only time they're going to listen is if they're hurt financially. So stop playing. Stop giving them money. Stop putting your time, your hard-earned time and money into this game, and make them do something about it. Just go on strike, boys. Just don't play it. But again, if you enjoy the game and you love NeoWiz and you love AVA, play it. Just be happy with it. As long as you're happy, you're good, right? Follow your heart, like it's one of those Disney movies, okay? But for me, the nostalgia has worn off. I am beyond just upset and angry with the way that this community has been treated, because truly we deserve better, all right? The fact that this game has so many people that love it, that have come back, it's been like a high school reunion for a lot of us guys that have played, 10, 15 years ago. It's been great. Seeing people that I haven't talked to in literally a decade. We deserve better. We deserve so much better than this, okay? And maybe in the future, we'll get a company that has this IP that actually truly cares about us and is willing to put the money, the effort, and the time into delivering a product that we're willing to support. But until then, here's what I'm going to do. I'm really enjoying making these videos. It's a lot of fun to edit. It's fun to interact with you guys. But I can't stand this fucking game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and branch out into some other games. And you know what? I get it. If you're here for AVA and you don't like it, that's totally fine. I respect you not liking other stuff. That's okay. But if you like what I do here, the gameplay reviews, weapon reviews, the off-meta thing where I fuck around with terrible weapons, I'm going to be going and doing all that same stuff on different games. And right now, Modern Warfare 2 just released. I'm not really a Call of Duty fanboy, so I think it might be interesting to see what I do in that game, because I suck at it. I'm a fucking ass. So, I'll be releasing some videos of that soon. And, I hope you guys are doing well. Sorry about this rant. Somebody had to say this shit. I know a lot of us are feeling it, and it's just irritating, because there's so much potential here. It's literally all there in the game files, but they're not going to do anything with it. So I hope you all are well. I'll see you in the next one. Don't panic. I'm not going anywhere.